Hello and welcome to my Pearson Edexcel GCSE Mathematics Paper 3 Calculator Paper Foundation Tier walkthrough. Let's get straight into it. Question 1. Write the following numbers in order of size. Start with the smallest number. 0.41, 0.5, 0.46 and 0.408. So the smallest one will be 0.408. Because 0.41 is the same as 0.410 and the other two are higher than 0.41. So next one will be 0.41, 0.46 and then 0.5. Question 2. Write down the value of the 2 in the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this would be 12,345. So the 2 would be representative of 2,000. Question 3. Write 4 over 5 as a decimal. 4 over 5, you can even do this on your calculator if you wanted to, would be 0.8. Question number 4. Write 19.4949 correct to the nearest whole number. Well, 19.4949 is less than 19.5, so it does not round up to 20, so it rounds down to 19. Question number 5. Here is a list of numbers. From the list, write down a multiple of 3. So the multiples of 3 are 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, and as you can see, 18 is on both lists. So 18 is our answer. Question number 6. The graph shows information about the average monthly temperature in Amman. For how many months was the average monthly temperature greater than 16 degrees C? So average monthly temperature is on the y-axis, 16 degrees C is here. So it's going to be everything above this dotted line. Notice it doesn't say greater than or equal to 16, so we're not going to include the one that is on 16. So the months we want are this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. So the answer is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Part B. Write down the 2 months that had the same average monthly temperature. So that's going to be 2 months where the cross is in the same height. So this one's 8, this one's 9, this one's 11, this one's 20, this one is 23, 25, 24, 21, 20, so we know they're both 20, 14 and 10. So the ones that are both 20 are May and October. May and October. Question number 7. 208 bars of chocolate were sold from a shop. 1/4 of these bars of chocolate were large bars. The rest of the bars were small bars. All of the large bars were £1 each. All of the small bars were 60p each. Work out the total amount of money for which the 208 bars of chocolate were sold. Give your answer in pounds. So 1/4 times 208 is going to be the large bars. I'll do that on my calculator. 208 divided by 4. 52. At £1 each. It's going to be £52. Then 3/4 times 208, which is the rest of them, is small. And I will do on my calculator 3 times 208 divided by 4, 156. At 60p each, which is £0.6. So on my calculator, I'll do 156 times 0.6, and we get £93.60. Then if we add these two together, again on my calculator, £145.60. Question number 8. 4 students play a game. The table shows the number of points each student has. Barbara has more points than Dinesh. How many more? So we have Barbara has 121, Dinesh has 19. Do that on your calculator. 121 minus 19 is 102. Part B. Work out the mean number of points. It's going to be 143 plus 121 plus 45 plus 19 divided by how many we have, which is 4. Once again, we'll do that on our calculator. 143 plus 121 plus 45 plus 19 is 328 over 4. And 328 over 4 is just 82. Question 9. Write down the coordinates of point A. So A is there, x-axis first, so -1, and then y-axis next, 2. Question B. On the grid, mark with a cross X the point 1, 4. Label this point B. So we want 1 across and 4 up, just up here, B. Part C. On the grid, draw the line with equation y equals -3. So that's going to be every point where y is -3. So we'll have 0 -3, 1 -3, 2 -3, -4 -3. So that will be our line. And it'll be a straight line, which I'll try and draw a straight line here. There we go. Y equals -3. Question 10. Here are the first 3 terms of a sequence. Write down the numbers that could be the 4th and 5th terms of this sequence. So we have, that is -4 between 20 and 16, and then -3 between 16 and 13. So it would stand to reason the next one will be -2, and then -1. So that would be 11, and that would be 10. Write down the rule you use to get your numbers. It will be take away 4, then take away 3, then take away 2, then take away 1, etc. Question 11. Here is a cuboid. Work out the volume of the cuboid. So the volume is going to be 8, which is the width, multiplied by 4, which is the depth, multiplied by 5, which is the height. And we can do that on our calculator. 8 times 4 times 5, 160 centimeters cubed. Making sure we check the units match the diagram, which they do. Question 12. Amol, Gemma, and Harry each have a number of sweets. The number of sweets that Gemma has is 6 times the number of sweets that Amol has. The number of sweets that Harry has is half the number of sweets that Gemma has. Write down the ratio between the 3. So Gemma compared to Amol. So Gemma has 6 times the number of Amol has. And Gemma compared to Harry has half the number of sweets that Gemma has. So when Gemma has 1, Harry has a half. So when we're going to ratio between the 3 of these, we're going to change this as 1 and to a half. It'll be the equivalent of 3 at 6 compared to 3. Multiply both of them by 6. Therefore, G to A, I'll put it in the order the question's given it, A to G to H is going to be 1 to 6 to 3. Question 13. ABCD is a quadrilateral. Work out the size of angle X. So we know that the angles in a quadrilateral add up to 360 degrees. So 360 minus 120 minus 120 minus 80 equals X. I'll do that on my calculator. 360 minus 120 minus 120 minus 80 is 40 degrees. Give a reason for your answer. I'm just going to write angles in a quadrilateral add up to 360 degrees. Part B. The diagram below shows a triangle. The diagram is wrong. Well, the angles do not add up to 180. I can see that straight away. So why is the diagram wrong? Angles in a triangle should add to 180 degrees. These angles add to 60 plus 50 plus 80 is 190 degrees. Question 14. You can use this graph to change between ounces and grams. Change 850 grams to ounces for part A. So we'll go a bit higher up. 850 is going to be here. 2 ounces, so we just have to work our way along to here and work our way down. That would be 30 ounces. Part B. Change 80 ounces to grams. Now this diagram does not go up to 80 ounces. Therefore, what we're going to do is we're going to find, since this line is straight, it's going to be increasing at the same rate the whole way along. So if we find 20 ounces and then multiply it by 4, that would be the same thing. So it goes about halfway through this square here, which is there. So if that's 550, next one will be 560. So we'll say 565 grams is 20 ounces. And then on my calculator, so if I just say times 4 times 4, 565 times 4 is 60 grams is 80 ounces. We'll move on. Question number 15. 2.5 kilograms of onions and 2 kilograms of carrots cost a total of £2.36. 3 kilograms of carrots cost £1.74. Stuart has £2. He wants to buy 4 kilograms of onions. Does Stuart have enough money to buy 4 kilograms of onions? It's a 5-mark question. So we'll write this in terms of an equation. 2.50 plus 2c for carrots and O for onions equals 2.36, and 3c equals 1.74. Therefore, we can work out what c is by doing 1.74 divided by 3, which I'll do on my calculator. So 0.58 is cost of 1 carrot. So I'm going to put that into the top equation. Therefore, 2.50 plus 2 lots of 0.58 equals 2.36. I'll just move on down a bit. So 2.50 plus 1.16 equals 2.36. I'll take the 1.16 from both sides, so we have 2.50 equals 1.2. Then we'll divide both sides by 2.5, which I'll do on my calculator. 0.48. I'm going to actually change this to 1 kilogram of carrot. So 0.48 will be the cost of 1 kilogram of onions. Is cost of 1 kg of onions. And the question's asking, does Stuart have enough money to buy 4 kilograms of onions? So 4 kilograms of onions equals, it's going to be 48p times 4, which I'll do on my calculator, £1.92. Stuart has how much money? £2. So yes, he has enough. Yes, he has enough with 8p left over. On to question 16. There are 3 different types of potato in a box. The table gives the number of each type of potato. Salim draws this pie chart for the information in the table. Write down 2 different things that are wrong or misleading with this pie chart. Well, first one, I would say labels are missing from the pie chart. Just looking at it, this looks significantly bigger than this. And the table is suggesting there's only a 15 difference between these two. So I would get my protractor out to confirm it. And I would just make sure, to me, it doesn't look like these are drawn accurately. So that will be my answer. I'm going to say the pie chart sectors are not to scale with the table. Angles should correspond with the numbers. As I would expect to see these two to be completely the same, which they look like they might well be, but again, you would check that with your protractor with these angles. And then this one here looks small. That one should be a bit bigger. Question 17. Write down 87,569 correct to 3 significant figures. So that would just be, you would round on the 3rd significant figure. So that would be 87,600, as 87,569 would round up. Part B. Work out this formula. Give your answer as a decimal. So I'll do this on my calculator, but I'll do it in stages. So I'll do the denominator first, this bit here. So 5.3 minus 2.8 is 2.5. So we're going to say that this equals 3.2 plus 3.7 times 4.9 over 2.5, just for simplicity. Then we're going to do the thing in the bracket. So 3.2 plus 3.7 is going to be 6.9 times 4.9 over 2.5. Then we'll do the numerator, and we'll say 6.9 times 4.9 on my calculator is 33.81 over 2.5. And then I will do 33.81 divided by 2.5 on my calculator, which comes out as 13.524. Now the question is give your answer as a decimal, so we are done. Question 18. Rotate this shape 90 degrees anti-clockwise about 0, 0, which is the center of the graph. So we want anti-clockwise, which is going to be this way, about 0, 0, and we want 90 degrees. So we want this point here is going to be this point here. Effectively, the numbers on the graph positioning like these -2 and -1 give away the position that it needs to go to. So if we look at point -1, 4, -1, -4, that is going to go over to 4 -1. Then -2, 5 is going to go over to, sorry, -2, -4 is going to go over to 4 -2. And then -4, -2 is going to go to 2 -4, like that. And this is our new shape, rotated anti-clockwise through 0, 0. And the reason we can do that trick with the numbers is because it's rotated about the origin, 0, 0. Question 19. Carly cycles to her friend's house. She stays at her friend's house for a number of minutes, then she cycles home. Here is a travel graph for her journey. Part A. How many minutes did Carly stay at her friend's house? So that will be the period when she stopped moving on the travel graph. which is between these two. So from there to there, which is going to be 8:30 to 8:45, which is 15 minutes. How far is Carly from her home at 8:50? So we'll follow the graph up. At 8:50, we know that she left home in the first place. So we know that 0 is going to be her home. So we just need to basically count along here, which is going to be this here. Each square is 0.2 because it's 5 squares between one of these. So 4.6 is our answer. Part C. Work out Carly's speed in kilometers per hour for the first 20 minutes of her journey. So the first 20 minutes, which is this nice stopping point here. In 20 minutes, she did 4 kilometers. Therefore, I'll write this down. 4 kilometers in 20 minutes. Therefore, in 60 minutes, all we need to do is times by 3. So she's done 12 kilometers in an hour, which is 12 kilometers per hour. So 12. Question 20. Here is a list of ingredients for making 10 scones, however you pronounce it. Martin has these ingredients here. Martin wants to make 25 scones. He has not got enough. He has not got enough of some of the ingredients. Work out how much more of each ingredient he needs. So that's for 10. He needs 25. So multiply ingredients by 2.5 to work out what is needed for 25 scones. Scroll down a little bit. So he needs 80 times 2.5 butter. He needs 350 times 2.5 self-raising flour. He needs 30 times 2.5 sugar. And he needs 2 times 2.5 eggs. So I'll do this on my calculator. 80 times 2.5 is 200 grams of butter. 350 times 2.5 gives 875 grams self-raising flour. 30 times 2.5 is 75 grams of sugar. And 2 times 2.5 eggs is going to be 5 eggs. So he needs 100 grams more butter, as he only has 100. He has enough flour. He needs 25 grams of sugar. And he needs 1 egg. (21) Make A the subject of the formula. So to do this, we just need to get A on its own. So what we're going to do is add 9 to both sides, which just gives us 3A on its own. Take A to this side. And then we're just going to divide both sides by 3. And that's our answer. Question 22. Rob has been asked to divide 120 in the ratio 3 to 5. Here is his working. 120 divided by 3 equals 40. 120 divided by 5 equals 24. Rob's working is not correct. Describe what Rob has done wrong. So, Rob should have divided by 3 plus 5, 8, first, then multiplied by 3, and then that would give the 3 ratio. Then he needs to do 120 divided by 8 times 5 for the 5 ratio. He also didn't add up the ratios at the start. So I think we've covered that by saying the 3 plus 5 for 1 mark anyway. Question 23. 200 students chose one language to study. Each student chose one language from French or Spanish or German. Of the 200 students, 90 are boys and the rest are girls. 70 chose Spanish, 60 of the 104 who chose French are boys, 18 girls chose German. Work out how many boys chose Spanish. So, how many boys chose Spanish? 60 of the 104 students who chose French are boys. So, 60 out of 90 boys chose French. That leaves 30. So, we know 70 students chose Spanish. We know 44 girls chose French, as 60 out of 104 were boys. We know 110 are girls total, as 90 out of 200 are boys. Therefore, if we do 110 minus 44, we know 66 girls chose Spanish or German, but we know that 18 chose German, so 48 girls chose Spanish, as 18 German, and we are told 70 students chose Spanish, therefore 22 boys chose Spanish, as 70 students chose. So the answer is 22. Question 24. Karina has 4 tanks on her tractor. Each tank is a cylinder with diameter 80 centimeters and a height 160 centimeters. The 4 tanks are to be filled completely with a mixture of fertilizer and water. The fertilizer has to be mixed with water in the ratio 1 to 100 by volume. Karina has 32 liters of fertilizer. 1 liter equals 1,000 centimeters cubed. Has Karina enough fertilizer for the 4 tanks? You must show your answer. So, firstly, we've got a diameter of 80. So, diameter is 80, so radius is 40. And we're going to need to work out the volume of the cylinder. So, let's go with volume equals pi r squared times height, which is the area of the circular base multiplied by the height, which is going to be pi times 40 squared multiplied by height, which I believe we're given is 160. And this will all be in centimeters squared. So I'll do this on my calculator. So 40 squared times pi times 160 is 256,000 pi, which is 804,247,7193. And that will be centimeters cubed. Then we'll go down a bit. So we need the volume for 4 tanks. So let's multiply this by 4. As I've still got it on my calculator. 3216990,877 centimeters cubed. Then we need to convert that to liters, and we are told in the question that 1 liter is 1,000 centimeters cubed. So let's divide by 1,000. Still got the number on my calculator, so dividing by 1,000 gets us 3216.990877 liters. And the question says that Karina has 32 liters of fertilizer. Now, the fertilizer and the water are in a ratio of 1 to 100, so 1 out of 1 plus 100 is fertilizer. So that's 1 out of 101. Therefore, 3216.99 divided by 101 equals fertilizer. And I've still got it on my calculator, so I'll divide by 101, and we get 31.85 liters of fertilizer. Therefore, yes, I believe it's Karina, isn't it, in the question? Karina has enough fertilizer. Has enough fertilizer. Question 25. Triangle ABC and DEF are similar. Part A, work out the length of EF. So, by similar triangles, we are saying this angle here is the same as this angle here, and this angle here is the same as this angle here, and the same for the top angle, which means the sides are proportionate to each other. So we know that AC is 5 and DF is 20, so we can say that the triangle on the left multiplied by 4 in size, scale factor 4, becomes a triangle on the right. Therefore, the 4 on the bottom here, multiplied by 4, is going to be 16. So I'll just write this out. 20 over 4 equals 5 centimeters. And then 4 BC length multiplied by 4 equals EF, which is 16 centimeters. And then work out the length of AB. We'll do it in a similar way. So all we need to do is 22 divided by 4, which gives us 5.5 centimeters. Question 26. One weekend, the Keddy family is going to do a sports quiz and a music quiz. The probability that the family will win the sports quiz is 0.3. The probability the family will win the music quiz is 0.35. Complete the probability tree diagram. So we know we've got 0.3 there, so we know these need to add up to 1, so this will be 0.7. We know the music quiz ones will need to add up to 1, so that's 0.65, and that's the same down here. Part B. Work out the probability that the Keddy family will win both the sports quiz and the music quiz. So, win the sports quiz and the music quiz, so it's this scenario here. So it's going to be 0.3 probability multiplied by 0.35, which I've just taken from here. I'll do that on my calculator, and I get 0.105, and I will convert that into a fraction as we are doing probabilities. 21 out of 200. Question 27. Change 8,000 centimeters cubed to meters cubed. For 1 mark, that's actually a bit more complicated than it looks. So if we had a cube that was 100 centimeters length. And then, I've drawn this very badly as usual, 100 centimeters high and 100 centimeters deep. This would be the same as a cube that has 1 meter each way. So if I convert these to say, this would actually be, I'll say 100 centimeters times 100 centimeters times 100 centimeters equals x centimeters cubed. So we'll say 1 meter times 1 meter times 1 meter equals y meters cubed, which is the equivalent, because 100 centimeters is 1 meter. So to get from this number to this number, we're going to divide by 100. This number to this number, we're going to divide by 100. And this number to this number, we're going to divide by 100. So we need to divide by 100 3 times. So 8,000 over 100 equals 80. 80 over 100 equals 0.8. And 0.8 over 100 is going to be 0.008 meters cubed. Part B. Change a speed of 180 kilometers per hour to meters per second. So 180 kilometers per hour is the same as saying 180,000 meters per hour, as there's 1,000 meters in a kilometer. And then we need to change it from hours to minutes to seconds. So that's going to be the same as saying 180,000 divided by 60 meters per minute, which is going to be 180,000 divided by 60, 3,000 meters per minute, which is going to be the same as saying 3,000 divided by 60 meters per second, as there's 60 seconds in a minute, which gives us 50 meters per second. Question 28. There are 30 women and 20 men at the gym. The mean height of all the 50 people is 167.6 centimeters. The mean height of the 20 men is 182 centimeters. Work out the mean height of the 30 women. So, the mean height of all 50 people is 167.6. So, 167.6 equals women plus men over 50. Therefore, women plus men equals, will be 167.6 times 50, which I'll do on my calculator, 8,380. So that is, I'll put up here, W equals total height of women, M equals total height of men. The mean height of the 20 men is 182 centimeters. So 182 equals men over 20. Therefore, M equals 182 times 20, which is 3640. Therefore, if we put that into the first equation, W plus 3640 equals 8380. So the total height of the women, 8380 minus 3640, is 4740. Therefore, the mean height of the women equals 4740 divided by the number of women, which is 30, and we get 158 centimeters. Question 29. Write 6.75 times 10 to the minus 4 as an ordinary number. So 6.75 times 10 to the minus 4 is the same as saying, so we'll say 6.75 times 10 to the minus 4 equals 0.675 times 10 to the minus 3 equals 0.0675 times 10 to the minus 2 equals 0.00675 times 10 to the minus 1 equals 0.000675. Doing it a little bit slower like that just ensures you don't slip up with the zeros, because that's all they're really testing with that question. And part B, work out all of that, give your answer in standard form. So they want it in the form of a number multiplied by 10 to the power something. So I'm just going to put this straight in my calculator. So I will do it one line at a time. So 2.56 times 10 to the power 6 is 2561234 zeros, multiplied by 4.12 times 10 to the power minus 3 is 0.00412 divided by 1.6 times 10 to the minus 2, which is 0.016. And then what I'm going to do is put that top thing into my calculator, 0.00412, and we get 10547.2 divided by 0.016. So I'll divide this by 0.016 on my calculator, and I get 659,200. And as we said, they want the answer in standard form. So 659,200 equals 65920 times 10 equals 6592 times 10 squared, 659.2 times 10 cubed, 65.92 times 10 to the 4, 6.592 times 10 to the 5. That's our answer. I believe this is the final question, question 30. Work out as a column vector a plus b. So we're going to have 2, 3, plus minus 1, 2. You add the top ones together to get 1. Add the bottom ones together to get 5. 1, 5. 2a minus c is 2 lots of 2, 3 minus 4, 1, which is the same as 4, 6 minus 4, 1, which is the same as 0, 5. And part C, the vector D is drawn on the grid. From the point P, draw the vector 2D. So D goes 1, 2, 3 along and 2 down. So 2D will be 6 along and 4 down. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 will be the finishing point. And get my ruler out that I don't have. And we'll draw a nice straight line as best we can. And that will be 2D. Make sure we label it correctly. And that brings us to the end of another paper. Thank you for watching, as always. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments. And I will catch you next time for the next one.